every institution, every government department, the money that you get will never really be enough for everything you need to do. So we have had to make adjustments and make sure that we live within our means, but at the same time to ensure that we deliver a quality project and a quality product, because we cannot compromise on the quality of the students we are giving out simply because there is no money. So we are still trying our best. The thing we told them is that there's been a big improvement, because from the 2019-20 academic year, we had a failure rate of close to 20%. Those passing were about 20%. Then we had others failing outright, others going to do supplementaries. But in the last graduation we had over 40% passing. So there's a big improvement. We also explained that very many people are now studying law, and yet you may find that some of the universities and some of the students being produced are going to be challenged by the difficulty of course. And we also pointed out to them that the performance is not the same at all the campuses. When you look at Mbarara campus, for instance, we had a much higher pass rate of over 50%. When you look at Lira, we had about 44%. Yet in Kampala, we had only about 38%. So the learning environment has a contributing factor. The fact that some of our students are working because they're trying to support themselves, they're trying to pay their fees. So you find somebody might be studying at the campus, but also has a foot in a law firm where they are going to moonlight for a few hours in a day. So that concentration and the learning environment, I think, in Kampala with so many distractions and all that. So that has been a challenge. But we are improving, and I think with the current academic year, who have just finished their final exams, we expect to see even better performance than before. That affects the work plan, because we plan according to quarters, and in each of the 4 quarters we have activities that we're going to carry out. So for those activities to be effective, one, the money must be released. Secondly, the money must come on time. So those are 2 factors. And at times the funds are not released because of shortfalls, that we are not able to get all the funds. At times the funding comes late. But as we explained to the committee, we are working on ensuring that we start our procurement processes early and we get ourselves ready for when the funds come. Okay.
Like many institutions, ministries, agencies and departments, this time around there have been budgetary cuts that have affected many of them in terms of their performance. There's also been absorption challenges. Even for the little resources they have got, they have had absorption challenges arising from procurement processes that were affected because of the pandemic that all of us are aware of. But above all, release of funds in line with their budgets have had problems, and that has come as a general problem that we have witnessed here across board, affecting many of their planned activities. We have also had problem of performance of their students. It is only Mbarara campus that was doing at slightly near average. That's about 42%. Kampala during the year in question performed poorly, but nevertheless we appreciate that their challenges can be fixed and we can start to see these institutions thrive. We also have a problem with the human resource. LODC as it stands has only about 12 permanent staff, that is the lecturers. And the total number of lecturers that they receive on part-time basis is up to about 140 and beyond. And the challenge they have with that is these are people who come to offer a service. They include, as among others, justices, senior lawyers within the country. They include prosecutors, and their payments are considered as allowances, and aware that whenever there are cuts, the first line of disruption as far as the flow of services is concerned affects the allowances. So I don't know whether we could be right to consider that as one of the reasons why performance has not been good. But all in all, we need to continue to support these institutions, to support them grow their capacity. The numbers are continuing to grow. The demand for legally informed persons is continuing to rise, and this all turns back to appropriation, availability of resources for them to be able to execute their debt. Minister of Finance, as a country, we run what we refer to as a cash budget. What is available and what is anticipated to be available is what Minister of Finance provides to us as Parliament through the various plans that are generated by the ministries, agencies, and departments. So we as Parliament go ahead to appropriate monies based on the ceilings that have been provided by the Ministry of Finance, also based on their anticipation that they will provide those resources to these entities. But many times when we've interacted with Ministry of Finance, are aware of the various shocks that the financial situations always face, they have not been able to formally conclude with the appropriation support based on the requirements that are presented to us. So Ministry of Finance, I think, has the goodwill to give the money, but the availability of the money to be given to all of us is the challenge that Ministry of Finance is at times shy to come and tell us that we did not have enough to give, and we all remain contemplating. We have budgeted for this, and we approved the budget. Ministry of Finance had also confirmed availability of resources, but at the end of the day, they are shy to come and tell us that we finally did not have everything to give you. So the problem is we run a cash budget, which of course what they collect and what also comes from the development partners is what is given to us. So I think finance should come out one day to tell us that we don't have enough money, and maybe for us also to become frugal enough in the adjustments which can be commensurate with what is available in order to reduce on the blame game. Reduce on the blame game.
Right, supporting these institutions is something that the government needs to work upon. However, the Public Accounts Committee was meeting up with the board of the Law Development Center to account for the misuse of the funds, but apparently, according to the board members of LDC, do believe that the Ministry of Finance takes long to allocate particular funds that help them to execute their duties at the institution. Well, away from that, now let's head to an issue to do with the microfinance regulations. Well, apparently, the microfinance setting in Uganda has created lots of questions in regards to gender equality. For instance, quite a number of circles at the top do not have the same gender balance as many of that. Well, apparently, there is also a move to ensure that all circles are regulated to move at the same pace as you can see the banks being regulated. And in this particular insight, we do have Honorable Haruna Kasolo Cheude, who is the State Minister for Microfinance, giving us more on the update on regards to regulating of the microfinance sector and as well as the circles that are in this microfinance. Let's have more.
We invited all key partners in the microfinance industry come together, sit in a conference so that we can be informed about how we intend to achieve and grow the microfinance industry. Because you see, microfinance industry is very key. If we want to develop this economy, we must ensure that we support the microfinance industry, because majority of Ugandans are served by microfinance industry. almost 80% of Ugandans. So we wanted to come together so that we can have a common, vibrant voice. Yes, so this is the essence of this. You know, we have had so many interventions targeting people serving microfinance, people under microfinance. We have had the Myoga, we have had the UYLP, we have had the Women Fund, now we are having PDM. So all these funds are meant to create an avenue where people can have access to cheap credit. Because you see, you are a Ugandan, yes, that identity is okay. But for me, a Ugandan must be doing business that earns him money every day. So you are not yet a Ugandan if you don't have a business that gives you money every day. Yes, you are that person who is in Uganda, but you lack that identity. I want to see all Ugandans, because when I was interfacing with many people, they were giving excuses like we don't have capital. What? Now government, through all these interventions, is creating an opportunity where people can have access to cheap credit and have capital, do business. Yes. So you are an incomplete Ugandan without a business. There are the partners that are supporting the microfinance industry. They are not government institutions, but they are partners. So they are raising a concern that if we want them to reduce the interest rate, we should ensure that we also extend cheap credit for them to own lend to their members, other than them getting money from out of the country, outside of the country, and cheaply, all getting money from our banks expensively. That means that they will also have to lend it expensively. But for me, and the government's call is to ensure that all partners create cheap credit for the people. Okay. So now what you have to do, we have to partner with those institutions by giving them cheap credit or even a grant so that they can extend it to their borrowers cheaply. People had abandoned a saving culture, and I'm trying to talk to them, and I am encouraging my other partners to always, in fact, it shouldn't be conducting meetings, it should be preaching, because a meeting can be held today and then you have to wait for a year. But the preaching, you can do it every day, even along with the roads. We must ensure that we always talk about, every day we must talk about saving. Some Ugandans are not poor, but they lack saving culture. So we want to encourage them to embrace saving culture. They earn money, but they just eat whatever comes across them. They just spend money on eating and other useless things. So we want to encourage them to save. The money you save today will save you tomorrow. So it is like if you want to eat money today, it is making an alarm to you. Please don't eat me, save me, I will save you tomorrow if you need me. If you eat it, tomorrow you will have nothing to save you. You have nothing to save your life. So we must encourage people to save money. The money you have saved today will benefit you tomorrow, including your entire family. But if you eat it, you have enjoyed it, but tomorrow you will have nothing to invest. That day, at Media Center, we now have regulations that are meant to protect the savings of the people. Because you see, these people that have been saving in the box, those women and the youth, we didn't have a law protecting their monies. But now with this law, their monies are going to be safe. 74 billion shillings have been saved the cutters of Emioga. These are the savings, 74 billion. And I'm continuing to persuade people to save. Because for me, I told people we cannot continue supporting you if for you are not supporting yourselves. If you can't save, we shall not give you money. And as I speak today, His Excellency the President gave me more money, directed that I continue supporting those groups we created with this 20 million additional fund. But for me, I told those groups, if you misused the money I gave you in the beginning, you don't qualify for this. So they are all now working towards getting the additional money by responding to saving. Yes, so I'm encouraging them to save forcefully and voluntarily, yes. People are addicted to getting free things from government. So whatever comes from government, they think it is just for eating, for enjoying. Now, I'm traversing the entire country, even conducting programs on radios and TV, encouraging people to save and also treating this money as their own money. It is not for government. The moment the money from Myoga left coffers of government, it is ceased to be money for government. It is money for the people, and therefore they should jealously protect it. Yes, if someone doesn't repay that money, he's cheating the group. He's not cheating government.
Honorable says if you don't have a business that brings you money on a daily, then you're not Ugandan. Well, I pretty much guess I'm around this now. But anyway, it's something that we really need to work upon, and clearly taking you back to making sure you make some good money, you as an individual in that way or the other. But also regulating with the microfinance and the circles in the country, because circles we all have circles we are attached to, because we have our saving groups in there. And the more we save, because we are saving for a cause, and how much do we save? So that goes back to us. If you're saving, make sure you're saving for a good cause. Besides that, also making sure that you prepare yourself for the future as well. So that's it for this particular segment of the Insights. We still have more to come. Stick around. I'll be right back after the break. Good morning.